Hello, and welcome to Canadian Rights Reviews, where we examine the ins and outs of Canadian rights, freedoms, laws, and policies. Today's video comes to us from 360 Audits Calgary. Although posted in February 2019, it was posted with the qualifier of being an old video, so we are uncertain of the original date. The video begins with a Calgary Transit Peace officer confronting a woman smoking on a public sidewalk.
Hi.
What? Literally just like, hey, give me your ID then. I'm not kidding right now. I'm here for smoking. I've asked you. What's your ID?
I'll back off, let you guys work.
Thanks. What's your ID? Please. Or else you just put it down and go around the corner like I asked.
Actually, that's one of the things I fucking...
I haven't wrote you anything. What the fuck is going on? I never wrote you anything, actually.
I didn't even know.
I didn't write you a ticket. I'm not here right now. I don't have your right. I don't have your right.
In Canada, we have laws related to public smoking. The bylaws vary from province to province and even from city to city. For example, in Edmonton, Alberta, the local bylaws stipulate no smoking within 10 meters of doorways, windows, and air intakes. However, in Calgary, Alberta, where this video was shot, the distance is halved to 5 meters or approximately 16.4 feet. Regardless of the distance, I was quite sure this smoker was too close to the doorway we see in the background early in the video. Despite that, as I watched this video, I was asking myself primarily one question. What jurisdiction does a transit peace officer have to address someone for smoking on a public sidewalk, even if clearly within 5 meters of a doorway? With that question in mind, I took to the internet highway for some research. It proved difficult to find almost anything with regard to jurisdiction related to Calgary transit peace officers. They have zero online presence, and it appears they have yet to join the 21st century in this regard. There is simply a giant void of information. Buried among other outdated reports and surveys for Calgary Transit, I did manage to find some of what I was looking for. The Public Safety and Enforcement Annual Report for 2014 outlines the areas of authority for transit officers. It also provides a description of their role as it relates to transit facilities and property. In an unrelated document, I was able to find a definition of transit property, which states, any premises owned and or operated by the city for the use of public transit, and includes, but is not limited to, a transit platform, transit station, boarding zone, and transit parking lots. Okay, got it. Pretty straightforward. I still have an issue. This appears to be occurring, once again, on a public sidewalk. Aside from the transit officers, we can see no reference to anything related to transit. With clues from within the video, I took to Google Maps. I was able to identify the location as we see here. Our smoker was seated on the same metal sculpture as this unaware lady with a red sweater and cane. What you still cannot, or will not see here, if not familiar with Calgary, is how anything in this picture relates to transit police. That is not a roadway to the right of the picture. It is track for Calgary's LRT system or C-Train, which of course, is owned and operated by Calgary Transit. Everything becomes clear with a closer look at the specific Calgary bylaw language. Our smoker is not just within 5 meters of the doorway but also within 5 meters of transit property, which is also prohibited.
Fine, give it to me verbally then. What's your last name? In accordance with the provisions of Provincial Offences of Peters Act, I believe that you have committed offense under Bylaw 4M81, Calgary, smoke on transit property. In order that I may issue a ticket, I require you to provide satisfactory identification so I can complete the process. If you fail to provide suitable identification, you may be arrested. Verbal ID is acceptable, but you confirm it, so you give it to me verbally or you give me that ID. Do you understand? Do you understand? Simple question. Do you understand or no? Okay, are you refusing to identify yourself to a peace officer?
People can be quick to condemn policing actions and failure to fairly make use of their discretion. With that in mind, I do want to point out that this officer gave the smoker the choice of providing ID or moving around the corner. Additionally, he has cited the relevant legislation and advised ID can be given verbally. The smoker has refused to comply in any way, and the outcome is obvious.
Where's your ID?
Stop.
So I'm just gonna come and knock on the door. They're arresting her again. That's extremely aggressive.
Brutality.
Telling your cousin.
Watch how you're having her hands there. Don't need to be that tight. You're welcome.
It's okay. They've got it on
Oh, it's okay. They throw it like seriously. Like.
Beautiful day out today, isn't it? Not much force for a girl that size, eh? Yeah, well, you guys don't have to use that much force on a little woman like that.
Yeah, we're always famous. Last week, same thing, but same person. Bunch of lawyers on. Oh shit.
It's okay, don't worry.
Do you guys watch these shows or what do you do?
No, I do cop watch and stuff.
Oh, dear. Is this a good one?
Yeah, this one's not bad.
This one is okay? Okay.
A little
Good work,
bit, a
guys.
little bit of excess force, but
Hey, you know, sometimes, excuse me, ma'am, or sir, doesn't work.
Wish I had this much free time.
it's nice.
You only have to get laid off like me and you could.
That's not gonna happen.
Why don't you go look for a job?
Instead of wasting your time.
Don't get smart with us, man.
That's why
Because we can, it's our right. We have the right to film. It's no reasonable expectation of privacy.
That's correct.
And we're not interfering with what you guys are doing, so
Keeping a safe distance.
Get their pictures.
I'll give you my name even, I don't care. You guys aren't going to intimidate me by taking pictures. Here, I'll smile nice and good for you.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Here's one for you too. Get a good picture of that.
That's anonymous, isn't it?
It is.
It sure is.
Is that tattooed or? Did that hurt over there or not?
Not too bad, no.
While we don't know the final outcome here, it is likely our smoker was ticketed, and possibly charged with obstruction for failing to ID. Our smoker gets a fail. Even if not aware of the relevant laws, she was given the option to move, which would have ended the interaction. Personally, I cannot help but note the questionable morality and hypocrisy of such laws. Don't get me wrong, I have no problem with indoor smoking bans, but outdoor bans make zero sense to me. At least, while it is perfectly legal to produce tons of air pollution, via motor vehicle emissions and industrial manufacturing. I know, I am in the minority with such an opinion, which is right on par, considering this day and age. The Calgary Transit Peace Officers get a pass. Despite my opinion of this law, The officer is justified in enforcing it. He gave the smoker an out, and was really left no choice, once she chose to not comply in any way. Our auditor gets no rating here, as he was not really the focus of the video. I don't know what he was looking at citing excessive force. I think given the fact that there was some physical resistance to the arrest, the amount of force was no more than required. Perhaps, he was just trying to get a reaction from the officers, or play up the intensity for viewers. We will update you further if we learn of any meaningful developments in this case. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.